As an almost half Northern Asian Siberian and an almost half Native American Belize, with a small percentage of Southern European Greek and Sub-Saharan African, which I am happy to have no traces of the Iberian Peninsula goddamn conquering Spaniards forcing me to learn goddamn Spanish, I reserve the right to say racist things like that since I am composed of these races. And since I'm a polyglot, I can decipher the context to an extent, know the origin of the root word, although I still cannot say the N word according to the Key and Peele's knee graph.
The knee graph. Can you say the N word?
I can say nigga all day long.
Nigger! No. I'd like to, but it says it right here.
The knee graph. And also available at the App Store, the fag chart.
My percentage of African is 1%. Does that make me racist because I want to say the N word? No, because I really do not want to say the N word. Just reiterating a point. A matter of context matters.
Now, I want each one of y'all to tell me something punch monkey cake that you did to a minority this week. Yeah.
Although what people think of you is out of your control, what they think of you is what they think of you. You have no say-so. But do you think of yourself as being racist if you make slightly bigoted comments for the sake of being funny? I'd adhere to being funny if I'm in the company of the people that I know, or if the mood of the room is friendly, or the context that is shown is friendly. Have you ever said anything remotely racist or bigotous, yeah, that's a word, in your life? I'm sure you have, as I have, but only to friends or in the company of loved ones and comrades. But never have I ever said anything remotely racist out of spite or anger, since I myself have this insouciant nature about me, nor have I ever paid any serious attention when people are being deliberately racist. I know firsthand what that does to you, and it trains us to be mindful and sometimes wary of that, as this social, albeit very funny social experiment shows. But are we now supposed to be guarded, and when we speak, are we only to speak in a PC sort of way? Careful not to hurt our friends or loved ones' feelings. Careful to use the correct words, as to not offend the sensitive ears of others, and carefully hide racist remarks in our syntagmatic lexicality, like Sarah Silverman's get out of jury duty free card.
And I don't want to do jury duty.
No one does.
So I'm filling out the form, and my friend said, why don't you write something really inappropriate, like I hate chinks, you know? And I'm thinking, yeah, but when you think about it, I don't want people to think that of me, you know? I just want to get out of jury duty. So I just filled out the form, and I wrote, I love chinks.
Now this is very simple. I'm going to say words, and the computer will measure how offended you are by them. In this way, we can find out which words are least offensive for use in the holiday season. Are we ready? Here we go. Christ. Okay. Chair. Camel. Sand. Stupid wop dago. Bench.
Racism in my clinical psychology dictionary, since racism is an extremely psychological hurtful thing, is defined as the belief that races are inherently different from one another and that people's characteristics and capacities are determined largely by race, usually accompanied by a belief in the intrinsic superiority of one's particular race over another or others. A racist, one, a person with opinions or attitudes that are characterized by racism. 2. Relating or manifesting racism. Now, the etymology of the word is derived from the French racisme, or raciste, which means race hatred, race prejudice. Racist means a person who believes in the doctrine that one's own racial group is superior or that a particular race group is inferior to the others. Do I adhere to this? Of course not. So what sparked this? About a week ago or so, I made a witty, albeit jokingly satirical, bigoted comment on some languages as to the feelings it provoked in the old misanthropic brain. The video in question is this one.
Блин, с беконом, я пеку с беконом. Блин, с беконом, обязательно с беконом. Блин, с беконом, вот так я делаю. Блин, с беконом.
Le frittelle con la pancetta sono buone, sono tanto buone. Me le mangio, mangio tutte quante, sì.
Krep yapmak, krep yapmak. Salam alıp krepe koymak. Krep yapmak için bunu yapmak gerek. Krep yapmak, krep yapmak.
Which I replied, Russian sounded better, Italian sounded like a creepy pedophile luring children by making baking pancakes, Turkish sounded like a terrorist's last meal. Now for some reason, when I heard the Turkish version, it triggered a memory. It reminded me back in the days when I was doing counterintelligence on the Great Eastern Islamic Radar Front. Also brought some negative feelings regarding the Grey Wolves teenage extremist movement and the very dangerous Turkish Hezbollah. Then I made this comment in a witty sort of way. In my defense, it was wittingly satirical, as you can plainly see, but to some, it needed to be written in crayon and explained as to what I meant by that. In no way does this speak of Islamophobia, which of course I have a book on. To wit, an idiot who looks like the crack-addicted homeless brother of Vincent Gallo responded with this, quote, "Nice to know all Middle Eastern people sound like terrorists." Let me read that again. Nice to know all Middle Eastern people sound like terrorists. Now, one of the problems is that this idiot concluded all, jumped to conclusions, which I never set up. But as to his intelligence, well, since Turkey is not even considered Middle East, rather Eurasia, which you can tell right away by the Asian influence in their vernacular.
Abi işte verelim onlar da gırtlakla kessinler. Canlı canlı böyle. Ama insan değil mi onlar?
After that comment, well, it just started to get reductio ad absurdum into my comments. He implied that I was being racist, a bigot, an asshole, a troll. One of those things is true, at least I think it's true. You know what? It is true. I am an asshole. And he concluded this by posting links to Psychology Today about the effects of racist jokes. Can anyone say confirmation bias?
Showing off. Figured out how to work the Google on the internet machine.
After that, it just got ridiculous. But he already lost when he made his first comment to me. Again, concluded all. I never said all. And I will never make the idiotic assumption of calling Turkey Middle East. And again, someone who doesn't know continents, well, I tend to ignore. But it did trigger this video. Not his retarded comment, mind you, but the idea behind it. Racist jokes towards people's actions. Sometimes jokes are made to break tension. Comedians use it to highlight an important issue going on in our society today.
Describes the Dostoevsky metro station with its depressing murals as the Mecca for suicides. Not to be confused with the Mecca for suicide bombers, which is Mecca.
But most people crack jokes for the sake of being funny with no other intention in mind. And we make jokes to, again, break tension, to break the awkwardness in the room. But every joke has a sense of verisimilitude. But is there ever any excuse to make a racist joke? Like this apotheosis, for example. What religion believes in the Big Bang? Islam, of course. Take a moment and it will get to you. Wait, that's two jokes in one. By now, I think it is fair to make a rational conclusion. The adherence that the enemy here is spiritual beliefs, or beliefs in general. The belief that we're all the same, the belief that we're all different, the belief that we are all superior as a species. It is what is attacked, and it is what causes people to attack. Beliefs are important, and we will fight to the death to defend them. And who knows, maybe I am a racist when it comes to the adherence of what people believe, which is due to and results in where people are from. In that respect, racism is born, a sense of patriotism, if you will. I must fight for what my country believes in because I believe in this too. Let's make our country great again, and all that nonsense. I never and don't have any prejudice of any kind. but I do have preferences and issues when it comes to the stupidity of other people. But I am a pretty chill guy. I have this insouciant nature about me, which at times looks like misanthropy, which plays an important role in not caring what others think, because I really don't care what others think. But racism for me is an important topic that needs to be addressed. It is important to note, however, that no race is more superior than others. Since we are a mixed posh race, we all have limitations, and those limitations others individuals of a particular race might do quite well, they will exceed in that. So yes, you can make a racial comment and not be racist. It's all a matter of context, and it's a matter of who you are talking to. Meaning, if what is being said, the source that propagated all this, was a linguistical equality video, then comments that will follow will be of a witty facetiousness if the source is in fact a gag show.
You know, I never much cared for Jews, queers, or fucking Eskimos, but that's just the way I was brought up.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to put that out there. I thought we were opening up here.
For example, an imam is talking about racial equality, which his religion calls for, since his religion is a religion of peace. Then the following comments, the following questions will be viewed of a similar nature. But let's say, then I say, for example, your faith cannot move mountains in Mount Tharak, but it sure as hell can't move buildings, huh? Do you see the difference? That is an extremely racist comment. That is an extremely racist comment in that context. But when someone knows someone, then you can be sure that a comment might be of a rollick nature if a matter of context. Racism is dangerous. But if we make a joke out of it, like David Superman, trying to change the meaning of the word to mean human, or black people taking the word back, or any other race owning their insecurities of what other races think about them, that will minimize the impact, that will minimize the hurt. Jokes tend to unite people together. Beliefs tend to rip people apart. So I ask you, which is more dangerous? But if we recognize and change, then we can progressively move from a sensitive state to a realistic state. We are different, but it's those differences that make people owning their differences attractive, self-assured, confident. So that this is no longer racist, but fucking funny.
I wanted to say that I'm really falling for you, and I don't like a lot of people. I don't like Mexicans, I don't like Chinas, but I like you.
Anyway, that is all I have. Thank you all for watching. It means a lot. Praise Jesus.